Good afternoon and welcome to Starting Over. I am your host, Patti Handy. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your lunch hour with me. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, AM 1220 and 98.1 FM. I'm very excited about this show. My dear friend Ellen is here, and I'll introduce her in a second. But just kind of a quick background on the show. We're really dedicated to those who are starting over after a divorce or a loss of a spouse. We want to help you get back on track and navigate this time financially, emotionally, physically. Having gone through a divorce myself, I know what it's like, and this kind of support and love is just something that I'm excited about to share. Ellen Como, let's get to Ellen. She is a dear friend. I've worked with her personally myself. She has kicked myself really well in a good way. But she is the creator of Bodecore workout and menopause fitness coach. She's been in the industry for over 35 years as a personal trainer, a group trainer, a fitness equipment inventor, a fitness show, radio show host, fitness model. Her studio is here local in Santa Clarita, and it's a faith-based gym, which is lovely. Her tagline is Flex Your Faith with Fitness,
Yes.
which is awesome. And her focus and passion is really helping people change their lives and body through faith and fitness, and I think it's fantastic. I can say from just my experience when I went through my divorce, being at the gym was my therapy. You know, just self-care. It was just, I knew I was taking care of myself. It was also just physically good for the endorphins. So I want to touch on that a little bit, but let me ask you a couple of questions regarding your actual, your studio. Tell us why and when you decided to bring faith into your studio. That's a little bit unusual, and I love it. But tell me how that came to play.
Love that question. Well, I've known I'm supposed to do this for a very long time, but I didn't have the courage to step into those shoes. And when you talk about starting over, I love that because starting over, I think, is my expertise.
I think it's all of ours.
I've started over. I've had 2 divorces, and I've had, a company that I had to shut down, a piece of fitness equipment that somebody, they didn't steal it from me. They got it fair and square, and so then I had to start over again. And so I'm just like this little expert at starting over. It's something that I just naturally know how to do. But
good for you.
I know. In a way, it's great. In another way, I'm like, okay, I don't want to start over anymore. I want to be, can I stop starting over?
Yeah.
So one of those days, maybe it'll happen. But for the faith-based, I've known I am supposed to step into these shoes for a very long time. But I didn't have the courage, and I think anybody starting over that has something that they have a strong purpose that they know that they're going to do, and somehow they don't know quite how to put it together, you don't really have, I don't want to say, you don't really have the courage in a way. You don't have that self-esteem. You don't have that conviction to step into those shoes sometimes.
The fear takes over.
Yeah, and sometimes it's because all the pieces have not come together yet. So it was literally about a month ago when I finally stepped up and I declared out loud in a group full of people that I knew that I was supposed to have a faith-based gym. And as soon as I did that, it was like I came out of this closet I had been hiding in. And the dams opened up. All the ideas started running through just coming out so easily. Everything started to just move. And that's one thing, if you're starting over, that you should know. Everybody listening and watching this, is that if you are trying to start over and you keep beating your head against the wall and you're not getting anywhere, there's a door you're not seeing. Because the door should be opening for you. That doesn't mean there might not be hurdles on those doors that you got to kind of jump over, but things should be opening up for you. Ideas should be flowing. Everything should feel really natural.
Is it safe to say that with that, you should be focused more in on your intuition? Because your intuition probably was speaking to you a long time ago about this faith-based fitness gym, and you weren't listening to that.
Yes. Yeah, I was listening to my intuition, and I knew I would have people that would, you've got to know when you're going to start over and step into something that people are going to have their opinions. And I had people that came forward with their opinions, and I said, no, I was born to do this. I know this is what I'm supposed to do. And being faith-based, it's all faiths. In my gym, we have all faiths. And we have actually agnostic and atheists in my gym. And so it's not like anybody is turned away or you're going to walk in and somebody's going to knock you over the head. It's inspirational. There is scripture. Sometimes it's just an inspirational quote. I bless you or pray you out after you leave. I like to say when you walk into my gym, you walk in, you just walk in off the street, but when you walk out of my gym, your muscles are tired, but your heart is full.
Yeah, I love that. And I can speak firsthand from working out with you. Your muscles are tired.
Yes, your muscles are tired.
I've been a gym goer, for I don't know how many years, since high school, and yeah, you work them out where muscles don't get. Yeah, I didn't realize that they were in there. So that's fantastic. I love that. I love the fact that you are following your intuition, your passion, your purpose.
Yes.
And if nothing else, the message here is whatever passion or purpose you have, follow that.
Yes.
Follow that trust and that instinct. So let's get into the fitness piece of it. For those who are literally new to the gym, I know, again, coming out of a divorce or a loss, self-care is so critical.
Yes.
And it's so important to take care of yourself, not just physically, but emotionally. And fitness kind of works both. Like I said earlier, it helped me. It was my therapy being in the gym. So for somebody who has not had any gym experience and just beginning, and they find it very, scary, very intimidating. Walk us through, a simple workout. I mean, do we include cardio, weights? You hear about Zumba and yoga and Pilates, and there's so many things out there. It can be overwhelming. Tell us where you suggest somebody start.
Well, where you start first is where you feel comfortable and you align with the culture. And what I mean by that is, are you a natural extrovert? Then you're probably going to do really well in a very big gym. Are you a natural introvert? And are you healing from something traumatic? You might be more comfortable at a home workout on a video, or you can stream it on a computer. So first, know your culture, what you want to walk into. I keep my gym very small and intimate. That's how I like my gym, because things come out sometimes.
Sure.
And if I have 30 people, I want to, when someone walks in my gym, I want to be able to connect with them on a level that they've never been connected before with fitness. I want to be able to look at them on a day where I can tell, wait a minute, okay, what's going on? Like, let's look at this a little bit. Let's modify this for you today, because I see today you don't have the energy. Or, you know what, I'm seeing today you have more energy than you think. You are getting more weight. Like, yeah, I'm giving you more.
You push them, yeah.
Yeah, so I
nice.
love to be able, now you might be uncomfortable with somebody being that intimate with you in that space, because you're in a place where you're not feeling comfortable with that. So find your culture. You might need to be in a room with 75 people doing the same class, where you can hide in the back and nobody sees you yet, because you're not ready to be seen yet. You're healing,
Sure.
Right? You're starting over. So the first thing that's so important with fitness is to find your culture. Where do you belong? Where are you comfortable?
That's great advice.
Yes.
Now, including weights, I know it's very important, and it should be something for us, over 40.
Yeah, absolutely.
Over 50, raising my hand here.
Yeah. Me too.
So the weights, unless you do proper form, you can injure yourself. So, somebody who wants to get into weight training but hasn't done that before, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. Weight training for women, definitely for women, is an absolute. It should be something part of your everyday fitness. And why that is as we get older and our hormones start to change, and our muscles start to diminish. So we want to keep our muscles as strong as we can, and that actually helps regulate our hormones. So it's something very important to do. And I always say, if you're just going to do cardio, you're going to be a skinny version of your fat self. Seriously, right?
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, nothing's changing. So, and nutrition has a lot to do with it too. Resistance training is an absolute, but form is top of the list. So what I recommend is somebody learn proper form with a lighter weight. As soon as you have proper form down, then you grow in your weights. Because if you stay with your 3-pound and your 5-pound weights, nothing is going to change.
Sure, there's no
You're not,
challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to be out of breath. When I take my clients through a workout and we're using resistance training, meaning weight training, we have to stop and rest. and it could be just do bicep curls, and they're exhausted. They're breathing. Their
I know
hearts
their
are
pain.
going, right?
I know their pain.
Right?
Yeah.
Your heart is like beating.
Yeah.
And then you put down your weights, you allow your heart to come back again. And why we're doing that is we're creating interval training, which is great fat burning. So for someone who's never weight trained before, stick to the basics. Don't try to get fancy. And I know some of the videos out there show you doing 3 different moves in one. Like you go from a bicep curl to an overhead, from a bicep curl to the squat, then you go to a curtsy. That might be too much at the beginning. Stick to very basic split training. And what I mean by that is you might want to do overhead military presses. And that is going to be for your shoulders. And it also can be for your back if you do it the right way. So that's a simple move. Get to know the form. Get to know the form of a proper bicep curl and what your range of motion is. Get to know the proper form for actually working your stomach. Now, stomach and core are 2 different things. Core is if you cut off your head, your arms, and half your legs. That's your core. Right? Front and back, by the way, not just the front. So that does include, our core does include our glutes.
Okay.
So get, stomach, know what body parts you're working. Know what you're breaking down. Get educated
and get focused. So somebody who doesn't know how to do this form and wants help with the form, is it best to hire a personal trainer?
Absolutely.
Is it best to, because there's so many videos out there in the world, and sometimes you can watch a video and not realize that you're doing it wrong because you don't see yourself.
Right,
You
exactly.
can't watch yourself in the mirror. So a personal trainer make the investment in yourself.
Yes.
Really, that's the message.
Yeah, you should, absolutely should. It doesn't mean you have to stay with that trainer forever. You can check in once a week. You can also, I have people that will hire me for 2 months only. And what I have is 2 months, 3 days a week for me to teach them everything they need to know. And you have to bounce off the mirrors. The mirror has to become me. So at that point, when they go out on their own, they can look in the mirror and they can correct their own form. So it's like I take them through 2, sometimes 3 months. And it's almost like a course I take them through to understand how their body's functioning. Because you also might lead with your hamstrings, and that's the muscle in the back of your leg that goes into your glute. There might be muscles you can't tap into, and that trainer's going to be able to work with you and modify things so you can find that muscle. And then when you have all the proper technique and form, you can go into any class at all, and you're going to be okay. Because you know what to do.
You know what to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's so important. I know I just said this, but I want to repeat it. It's so important to make the investment in yourself.
Yes.
Some people are like, I can't afford a personal, trainer. It's just not in my budget, and I get that. Going through divorce can be costly and all that. But this is something that you need to do for yourself. Even if, like you said, for 2 months, a limited time, get yourself educated with the right form so you know you don't hurt yourself.
Right.
For one, because that could put you back even further if you've hurt yourself. And then you know you're doing it right. Yeah. So important. So somebody who's not local and can't come to you, reach out to a personal trainer, that friend of a friend, or get an introduction.
Yeah, you can go. What I would do, and don't look for, if you walk into a gym, don't look for the person with just the best body. Because sometimes they can just genetically have a great body. You really want to spend some time with them and make sure that they're keeping track, and you're tracking with them, and they are changing, and they're really looking at you and watching you. But I'm working on a website right now, ellencomo.com, and I'm going to have move of the day, and people can actually hire me, and it's a lot less expensive than when you meet me at my gym.
Nice.
And just hire me. And go through my workouts. I'm going to have a beginner workout where it's a monthly fee. You can go, and I'm going to talk for the very, very beginner that has never worked out before and take you from the beginning, where are we starting? And let's say you get to the point where you really want to make sure that we're doing things correctly. We have Skype now. So
that's awesome.
I can Skype with you and look at your squat and tell you, wait a minute, you need to get your bottom back. I see that you are using your lower back too much. You're not using your quads enough. Let's try it this way. There's a lot of interaction you can have with trainers on the internet now that you feel comfortable with.
So somebody doesn't have to be local to work out with you.
No, they don't. Not as soon as my website's up. We're in the works with it right now.
Okay.
So I'm hoping within the next 2 to 3 weeks it's up and running, and I'm really excited about that because.
Yeah, congratulations. That's
Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah, I do have people from New York that want to work out with me.
Oh, fantastic.
Because one of the things I do that I really, where I stand out is I really break form down really well and teach it proper. So somebody can take what I teach them and they could take it out anywhere they want to into any class and they'll be safe.
Nice.
Yes, and they're going to get results.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So somebody who wants to entertain the idea of a class like a Zumba or Pilates or yoga, my thought is do what you find enjoyable.
Yes.
Whatever you're going to do to keep up.
Yes.
If you go to Pilates and you hate it, don't keep doing it
Right.
because you're not going to keep it up. So whatever you can do consistently. Is there anything one over the other that you say is a better, if it's a class environment, somebody who likes that environment, is there one that you prefer over another?
Yes, and this is my personal opinion. So my personal opinion is when classes are moving too quickly and you're just doing it, not a Zumba class because you're dancing and you're having fun. So that's a real fun class. But if you are in a class where you are doing movements where there's weight bearing, and it could be body weight or it could be resistance training, and you feel like you constantly can't keep up, and someone is not watching and keeping track of your form, and it's how many can you get in 30 seconds, and they don't care if you're moving your whole back and you're like all over the place and, pick up more weights and go, 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 go. Not for starting over. That is a definite no.
Okay.
I mean, I am no, absolutely not. If you're constantly in there feeling like I'm trying to catch up, I can't keep up.
Your form's all off.
It forms not for you.
You're going to injure yourself.
Right. What you need to do is find a pace that's good for you. And that doesn't mean that pace can't change your body. I don't know where we've gotten on this new trend that if you're not going at this hyper speed, your body's not changing. Your muscles react to different things. But if you're not doing it the right way, all you're doing is going into your joints and your muscles aren't working at all. So,
well, a testament to that is yoga. That's a very slow, very slow, but it's intent and it's hard.
It's hard.
It's if you're doing it right, it's very difficult. I find yoga very difficult.
Yeah.
It's something that I am challenged with. So yes, I totally agree. Keep it slow. And I've been in classes like that where I'm trying to keep up, and I know my form is off. I'm like, okay, this is just I'm gonna mess my back up. I'm gonna hurt myself. I can't keep this up. But they're just like move.
Right.
And that's not my people.
No, and if you go to the instructor and they have no modifications for you, like if you walk up in the class and say that went really quick for me, like what do you recommend, and they don't really have a recommendation for you, that's probably not your culture. And that's what I was talking about at the beginning. You need to find your culture.
Yeah.
So you got to know yourself really well and try a few different cultures to see which one. You're going to know all of a sudden it's going to feel like you're at home. Wow, I belong here. This is my home. This is where I know I'm going to get my body fit. I feel comfortable. When I walk out, I feel good. I'm not feeling bad about myself. I can keep up, but I'm getting tired. You're going to know. Trust your heart on that one. But yeah, do not stay in something just because everyone says it's a hot place to go.
Yeah.
Do not stay in something that doesn't feel right to you, or when every time you get in your car and you drive away, you're like, I didn't feel right to me. Sometimes no exercise feels right to somebody when they're starting out. So I do have to say there's a difference.
Yeah.
There's a difference between like, ooh, I don't know. And that's more of when you start trusting yourself and you start trusting what you're capable of doing, that will go away.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's great advice. So with the few minutes we have left, tell us from a very basic place, how many days a week should somebody work out? How long should they work out? What's enough?
What's enough? Enough is,
or best.
Or yeah, in a perfect world case scenario, right? Resistance training 4 days a week and 2 days a week of cardio. And cardio is whatever you like the best. Like for me, it's a Stairmaster or it is jump rope. It could be running for somebody else. I've had that question 1,000 times. Ellen, what's the best cardio? I go the one you like because you'll do it.
Yes.
So that's it. So 4 days resistance training, 2 days cardio is optimum.
Okay.
Now, if you have to break it down and you don't have an hour, 45 minutes at a time, you can break it down to 30 minutes a day by using one body part. Like you work on your back and biceps one day, chest, triceps another day, third day in between, make that a cardio. Fourth day's upper body blast. And then the fifth day would be legs. So you break it up. And
so one body part a week is enough. If it's done right.
Yeah, and you're gonna and remember, even though you're focusing on that body part, that doesn't mean you're not using it
in other
Yeah, when you're doing other things, you're not just focusing on that.
Okay.
I like to see the back being focused on twice a week. With women, this is my rule because we have a little extra weight in the front of our chest, right? I like to do double back.
Some of us don't. But
Even if it's a little, it's something, right?
Yeah.
It's just more than the back has.
Yes.
So I always like double back to chest for women.
Okay.
Because we have more weight, so to kind of keep our posture.
Sure.
And women tend to carry the weight of the world on their shoulders.
Yes.
Like literally,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And figuratively.
Yep.
Can't say that word today. So anyway, but you get the drift of what I'm saying here. So you definitely want to make sure that your back is nice and strong to handle whatever life's going to bring you.
Okay.
And then, so I would do double back to chest. So maybe do back with your upper body blast on Thursday. And, keep it about 45 to 50 minutes if you can. If you can do 30 minutes a day, 6 days a week, you're going to see a difference if you're using proper form and you're doing the proper exercises in the proper order. You will see results.
Awesome.
Yes.
Okay, we're down to our last minute. Tell us where we can find you.
Okay. Well, pretty soon, hopefully soon, very soon, ellencomo.com. Very easy to remember.
Spell that.
ELLENCOMO.com.
Okay.
Or you can find me on Facebook on Ellen Como's Bodecore. That's BODECORE. And you can find me on Facebook that way as well. You can call me at 661-312-3130. And you can also find me Ellen Como Fitness on Instagram.
Awesome. Thank you, Ellen. What great advice.
Yeah.
I hope we touched you in some way, help you to get back on track physically, get healthy, and just stay strong. You can also jump over to startingoverwithpatti.com for some free information there that I have for you. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank
It
you
was
for
such a
having me.
blast. I really appreciate it. You're listening to your hometown station, KHTS 98.1 FM. Stay with us. We have another guest coming up in the next half hour. We'll talk to you soon.
If you are at least 55 years of age and have a torn or irreparable